G'day, it's Greeny here. That is my new temporary housemate lying down there in the sun having a little snooze. Let me see if I can turn this around. I do not know if you can see me. I'm just looking at where I think the camera is. But I want to do another little dahlia video because I've had a couple of questions. Remember please that my Dinky Little Greeny's Garden YouTube channel is a what I do, not a how to. I'm no expert. I have a lot of failures. I do have some successes. So for what it's worth, this is my little dahlia update. Do you like my hat? I think I should be a bit sun smart. So I'm hiding under a whopping big hat. So let me turn the camera around and hope that I was actually in the shot. I may not have been. Let's turn the camera around so I can show you what I'm doing. So first, come over here. This is a garden bed that has some white ranunculus seedlings. Now, when I went on my road trip recently, every single one of these cells had a little seedling in it. And as you can see, there's a lot of empty cells. I do wonder if that's because of slugs, snails, or they did dry out a bit while I was away. I didn't have anyone into water. So what I've got here is a hole approximately 10 centimetres deep. I've got a tuber here which I'm going to bring over. I want to show you a couple of things about this. Please excuse my fingernails. I was given blue nail polish by a child. We painted our nails together and it's badly chipped off because I've been gardening. It needs to come off and completely, and my nails need looking after because I'm going out tonight. But see this? I have put the spade through that tuber when I dug the clump. Well, actually, it might not have been me. I paid a teenager up the street to take out a lot of my dahlias because of my torn tendon, and he broke a lot of the clumps up and a lot of them were damaged like this. So it could have been me because I did one to demonstrate what to do, and then I did a couple more when he gave up towards the end. So I kept it thinking, well, it can just go in the bin or the compost if it doesn't survive, but it did. Now, where is the eye? So if I look at the way the stalk is and I think about how that would have been on the plant, I can see the top of the stalk here, the bottom here. So I'm expecting the eye to be on that surface there. Now, I have terrible trouble focusing. Can you see a little pimply dot right at the very top? I'm really embarrassed about my nails. Look, I don't care. I do care because they're embarrassing. But anyway, just ignore my nails. Look at the little pimply dot right at the top. That is the eye. Now, it's closer to where the stalk was than I might have imagined. So you've got the body of the tuber, the neck, and then where the eye is, and then a bit of the stalk. So this tuber is tiny bit shriveled, but not too bad. So I'm going to put that in the ground, eye facing up. Let's go do that in this hole that I pre-dug for you. And now, when the tubers grow, they will grow tubers the whole way round like an octopus, but maybe more than 8 tentacles. My cafe au lait only grew one extra tuber aside from mother. Hello Ruben, you've come to see what I'm doing. So just checking the eye is at the top. I'm just making sure I didn't accidentally turn that over. And I'm going to put it in toward the back of the hole there. So there's room. If the tuber wants to grow out this way, it's not going to butt up to the edge of my garden bed. Now, can you see where my stake is? It's not a tall stake, but it'll be enough. I don't know where the best place to put a stake is, but if this tuber, it'll grow the stalk up from here, so you could argue it's too far away, but I can put just some of that soft covered wire. It's sort of got a plasticky coating on, and I'm not worried that it's that far away from this stalk. Perhaps it should be closer. Some of them I do put closer, but that is fine for now. I kind of want that stake on the edge in case I do the 2-string system with the tubers growing up between. This bed was going to be where I was going to put my tomatoes, but I need more dahlia space, so I'm just going to worry about the tomatoes later. And look at this. This is a garlic, and I get garlic randomly growing in my garden beds from time to time because the little bulby things at the bottom, I just leave them in the ground. There's another one there, a couple more over there, and they eventually grow into a garlic, like set of cloves, a whole full bulb. You know those little round pebble-like garlicky baby bulbs on the side of the big bulb? that's what they are from. I just leave them in the ground. I just chuck them back in and they just come up randomly. So let's cover this one over, and then I want to show you a tuber that's not as obvious with the eye. So I'm calling that planted now. Now what I'm not going to do is water it until I see the shoot come out of the ground. Now this soil, because we've had quite a bit of rain, is quite damp. Not wet enough to rot the tuber, but nice to support a tuber that might be a bit dry. So that is now one tuber planted. Let's go and look in the shed. Welcome to the chaos that is my shed. First, a little look at the ranunculus. I picked heavily yesterday, so there's not a lot. I'm hoping for more. Seedlings are down that end. Oh, let's look at what is in flower. The irises have come up. I haven't got many. There's one there, one there, one there, couple there, couple here. My friend Rhonda has given me some yellow and white ones, so that's good. And more things just coming up. Look at the autumn sedum joy that's coming back after a big cutback. They were just one stalk when I started. They'll have a beautiful flower in autumn. So let's go into the shed. Oh, chrysanthemum cuttings. They're coming along. A couple of them haven't made it. You can see there's a couple there with no particular growth. I'll check them for roots before I discard. They'll go out in the garden soon. Coming to the shed. Now, usually in summer, I wait for about 35-degree days, Celsius that is, 3 really hot days, and I strip every single tiny thing out of the shed, and I sweep it, I brush down all the cobwebs, I pressure hose it, I leave everything outside, wait for it to be thoroughly dry, and put things back neat and tidy. Well, I didn't do that last year because I actually tore my tendon in November. So the shed is more filthy than usual, but it's never clean, never organised. But that I'd be telling a lie if I said that it was really good. But once a year it gets a really good go over. So what we're looking at here is an experimental way of me storing my dahlia tubers. Now the ones in bigger pots have done much better, and they're actually shooting quite vigorously, as you can see. The ones in the smaller pots haven't done as well, and the ones in the trays are a bit dry and shriveled. So I'm just suggesting there's not enough soil or moisture retained in there. I did pull out, these are my cafe au laits that I'm going to put in my own garden, and I saved the mother, and I just pulled that out to look to see if there were any eyes, and I can't see any, and most people just discard the mother. The mother is the original tuber that went in the ground the year before, and look, it might grow something, but it might not. But I've got 2 people wanting cafe au lait tubers, and because they only grew 1 tuber, I've kept the mothers just in case. So that's a mother, but look there, there's a little green shoot beside it. Hey, there's a shoot on that one, so this is good. One of my friends will be able to get one at least, but there's another little shoot in there. So that will be a cafe as well. I can tell by my label. Now, a lot of them don't have a label, and that's because the teenager I had who helped me dig my tubers up discarded the labels, not realising that I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the varieties once they were out of the ground. So some of the labels I have are probably correct, and some are correct, and some have no label whatsoever. So that's why I have to plant more than I want to, so I don't miss a variety because it's not labelled. Anyway, so I wanted to show you, and I did look for one before, I wanted to show you a tuber that's not obvious. So we're going out into the sun. These are the ones that, in here, these are the ones that I need to find space for in my garden. And these are the ones I'm bagging up, ready to donate to the fundraiser, the Open Garden Day fundraiser, and they'll sell those. That box underneath is full as well. So I need more boxes, clearly. Oh, what I do with the soil, I'm just collecting it, and that will get spread in the garden beds. It's just potting mix, low quality potting mix. Anyway, let's come out in the sun and we'll see these. So, because of my tendon, I really didn't have much precision, and I lost a lot of tubers because of that. So a few of them I just left pretty much in a full clump like this one, but you can see there's a little shoot there, and you can see roughly where they'll come up in relation to the stalk. So when I can't identify an eye, I look for where I expect it to come up and plant it that way up. So really the only obvious one for me that I can see, I'm looking above the camera to see it, the only obvious one I can see is that little pink pimply bit that will grow. Now this one, I actually rinsed it a bit under the hose. Just one tick, my hair is blown in my mouth. I badly want a haircut. I'm going to find it because there is one little dimple. I just want to get the sun shining on it. Hold on, I'll go this way a bit. I just need to find it so I can point it out to you. I did have it earlier. It's not, there, it's not super obvious. So if you think, I'm just not happy. It's the one here at the bottom. And if I can get the sun on it, can you see? You might not be able to see, but there is a little pimply dimply right close to the stalk. It's very tiny, right up in that little groove there. Can I see any more? I'm just going to not look through the camera. So that's where I expect them to come up. But even if I can't see any eyes, I would give this tuber a shot because it's only it's mid-October, and sometimes these don't go in the ground till after Melbourne Cup Day or around now. Around now is a good time, unless super heavy rain is forecast. So I'm going to plant that whole clump in the ground, stalk up, and assume the eyes will come. So if I was selling a tuber like that, I wouldn't until I could see an eye, but I don't sell. I just give away and grow for myself. And, I've dropped it. That's all right. We'll just save it. I just do this for my own gardening. I'm no flower farmer. I'm just a backyard hobby person. And the tubers that I have bagged up to give away, I have identified an eye. Now, Hugo knew not to walk in the garden beds. Reuben has not been trained to not go in the garden beds. He's absolutely delightful. So I've got a couple of other tubers here. Did I show you these already? I can't remember. Obvious eye on that one. Now, can I find an eye on this? Yes. I believe so. I'm just giving it an extra super check and then I'll tell you what I think. It's not really obvious. So the tuber has come off the stalk in this direction. So the stalk would have been where my finger is. So it would have come out the ground off the stalk like that. So I'm assuming the eye to be up here. Now this isn't always the case, I have found, but I don't know, you might not be able to see it. There is, right there at the end of my dodgy fingernail, and I'll slide it back in a tick, there's a little pimply bump. That is the eye. So can you see it? It's not as obvious as the ones that have shot, but there is an eye right there. So these tubers will go in the ground today in the same garden bed where I just planted that example, and all of these ranunculus seedlings will come out of there. I really want to put them in the ground, but I need to keep them separate because they're the white ones. Well, I hope they're going to turn out white. Let's just walk over and have a look at the other ones while we're here. I'm just walking down what can be a garden bed and can be a river. So let's just lift up and we'll have a little peek. These ones haven't come along quite as much as, I've got it too well netted down. Let me just lift a clip off. These ones haven't come along as much as the ones in the driveway strip where the strawberry bed was. I think they didn't get as much water, but they're coming along and I will have tubers. I'm very sure I'll have some tubers. In fact, I've even got a flower stalk coming on one of the other baby ones. Now, this is a failure. Poppy seed, I threw it down. I should have thinned it. Usually I've got poppies by now, and look at it. It just looks terrible. They're not going to come to anything. Maybe I should thin them out and give them a chance. I don't know. Anyway, that's all for now. I just wanted to give a quick little thing about the dahlias. Look for the eye. Guess based on which way the stalk was. 10 centimetres deep. I prepped the bed with potash and a bit of blood and bone. about 4 weeks before they go in. I stake them sometimes, most times, not always, allowing room for the tuber to send out more tubers in circumference to where the eye is. The eye should be in the middle-ish. And what else do I want to say? I'm trying to think what the questions were. I did have someone having a discussion with me last night about this. I think that's it. More questions I can answer next time I do a video on anything. There's ranunculus looking a bit sad because I've heavily picked them. I think that's it. That's it. So, I'll tell you where else I'm going to put some. This garden bed here, I think I've shown you this before. I'm taking all these jonquils out. You can see I've started, but the tulips need to die off before I do that. I was realising I was ruining the tulips. And any ranunculus that got left behind will be lifted. And this bed next season is going to be all anemones. I'm going to get 3 colours, a pinkish, a purple, because that's my favourite, and a whitish looking one, if I can get the seed, the little corms. So this will just be anemones, plus that big daisy. And look what's coming to life. My very first buds on a digitalis, a foxglove. I've got several of these in the front garden and some purple ones out the back. That one's white, obviously. So, rightio, that's it. That's it. That's it. So, hang on a minute. I got distracted by myself. This garden bed will have dahlias in next when they come out, the anemones. So everything in here is getting stripped out. I'm just waiting for the tulips to die off so that they can store some energy in their bulb for next year. They'll get lifted. And not a real chook. I've got a couple of fake chooks in the garden. My real chooks are much better, of course. Rightio. Okay, that's it. That's it. Hopefully I answered a couple of questions. Hooroo. Thanks for coming.